Welcome to the Metabolic Maestro podcast, where we help you orchestrate your metabolism one note at a time. I'm Kathleen, a synthesized voice Bob has chosen to narrate his podcast. This is episode 7, Potassium, Citrate, and the Kidney Energy Axis, the 7th episode in the Metabolic Orchestra series. We've talked about how energy is made, how it's protected, and how it's repaired. Today we talk about something less glamorous, but just as important, waste, because energy production creates byproducts. And if waste is not handled properly, energy systems slow down. The kidneys sit at the center of this process, and two molecules matter more than most people realize: potassium and citrate. Part 1. The kidneys are energy regulators. When people feel tired, they usually blame the brain, or the muscles, or the heart. Very few grasp the complexity of the kidneys. Most people think of kidneys as simple filters, but that's incomplete and far too simplistic. The kidneys regulate electrolytes, acid-base balance, blood pressure, and hormone signaling. Every one of these affects how much energy the body must use to stay balanced. Part 2. Potassium, the intracellular mineral. Potassium lives inside cells. This matters. Cells require potassium to maintain electrical stability. Without enough intracellular potassium, ATP generation becomes inefficient, muscles fatigue quickly, nerves misfire, and insulin signaling weakens. Potassium is not optional. It is foundational. Part 3. Potassium and mitochondria. Inside mitochondria, potassium helps regulate volume. This affects membrane tension, electron transport efficiency, and ATP synthesis activity. Too little potassium increases reactive oxidant species. Then energy production becomes noisy. Part 4. Why potassium is easily lost. Potassium is lost when the kidneys prioritize sodium retention. This happens when sodium levels are low, stress hormones increase, or insulin is chronically elevated. These trigger a rise in aldosterone, which causes sodium to be retained and potassium to be lost as collateral damage. This is why imbalance develops quietly. Part 5. Citrate. It's more than a buffer. Most people think of citrate as just a supplement or something added to food or drinks to act as a buffer, something that helps control acidity. But citrate is much more than that. Citrate is actually a central molecule in metabolism, one your body makes and uses every second of the day. Here's the big picture. Mitochondria run a process called the Krebs cycle. Citrate is one of the very first molecules made in this cycle. It's formed when two smaller molecules derived from the food you eat join together. From there, citrate is gradually broken down step by step. Citrate is synthesized from acetyl-CoA and oxaloacetate. Subsequently, as citrate is progressively oxidized through the Krebs cycle via multiple steps, it generates NADH and FADH2 that donate electrons to the ETC. As citrate moves through this cycle, it helps generate high-energy electrons. These electrons are passed along to the electron transport chain, which uses them to make ATP. So citrate isn't just presence. It's doing work. Citrate plays several important roles at the same time. It's a Krebs cycle intermediate, helping turn food into energy. It acts as a buffer, helping control acidity in the body, and it functions as a signaling molecule, helping cells sense energy and nutrient status. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Citrate also helps connect mitochondrial function to kidney function. The kidneys use citrate to help regulate acid balance, protect against kidney stones, and maintain overall metabolic stability. So when you hear citrate, think beyond supplements or pH. Citrate is a bridge between energy production, acid balance, and organ communication, linking how your mitochondria work with how your kidneys protect the body. If you are curious and want to go deeper into the Krebs cycle, electron chain, and ATP synthase, I have also made a 5.5-minute episode called The Long Journey of an Electron. It's well worth listening to because it describes in full detail the most important part of our metabolism. Part 6. Citrate and acid-base balance. When metabolism produces acid, citrate helps neutralize it. In the kidneys, citrate binds excess acid, prevents crystal formation, and protects kidney tissue. Low citrate increases stress on energy systems. Part 7. Citrate and the Krebs cycle. Inside mitochondria, citrate is produced early in the Krebs cycle. Its presence signals abundance. Its absence signals stress. When citrate levels are adequate, fat oxidation proceeds smoothly, and electron flow remains stable. Low citrate strains the system. Part 8. Citrate and uric acid. Uric acid is a metabolic byproduct that can cause significant harm, but it's manageable through diet and hydration. Eating foods low in purines and drinking more water is the key. This keeps urine alkaline. Consuming citrate also alkalizes urine and prevents uric acid crystallization. Citrate is made inside your cells as part of the citric acid cycle. This cycle is also called the Krebs cycle. It's an intermediate in mitochondrial energy production, so your body is constantly generating it from carbohydrate, fat, and protein metabolism. When uric acid levels are high, it signals that the kidneys cannot keep pace with uric acid excretion. This can mean the body is producing too much uric acid, the kidneys have reduced filtration capacity, or both. Either way, it's a sign of metabolic stress on the kidneys. High uric acid isn't just a joint problem, it's a metabolic stress signal indicating systemic dysfunction. Part 9. Potassium citrate. It's a synergistic pair. Potassium citrate does two things at once. Potassium restores intracellular electrical stability, and citrate reduces acid load and oxidative stress. Together, they lower the cost of energy production. Part 10. Magnesium citrate. Restoring the foundation. In Episode 5, Magnesium, Iron, and the Hidden Cost of Energy, we learn that magnesium enables ATP synthesis in metabolic processes. But magnesium citrate also reduces acid load and oxidative stress. Together, they restore the biochemical foundation that prevents energy collapse. Part 11. Kidneys, insulin, and potassium. Insulin causes potassium to move into cells, but insulin resistance disrupts this process, causing potassium to remain outside, weakening the electrical gradients and leading to poor ATP production. This is why metabolic disease and electrolyte imbalance often coexist. Part 12. Sodium revisited. Sodium matters, but not alone. Too little sodium triggers aldosterone, the kidney's emergency response to hold on to what they have. But aldosterone doesn't discriminate. It retains sodium and wastes potassium as collateral damage. The result: electrical gradients collapse, energy efficiency plummets, and the system slides toward dysfunction. This is why sodium and potassium must move together. Balance isn't optional, it's the operating condition for mitochondrial health. Part 13. Chronic acid load and fatigue. Low-grade acidosis doesn't announce itself with pain. It whispers. Muscles tire faster than they should. Recovery stretches longer. The system feels sluggish, not broken. But underneath, mitochondria are working harder for less return. This is the hidden cost of chronic acid load, which can be caused by a high-protein diet that produces sulfuric and phosphoric acid, or lack of fruit and vegetables can reduce alkalizing potassium and bicarbonate, or an even more troubling problem, it could be declining kidney function that can no longer excrete acid efficiently. Citrate reduces this burden by buffering acid and lowering the metabolic price of staying balanced. Part 14. Aging and kidney efficiency. With age, the kidneys don't fail, they lose precision. Renal buffering declines. Potassium handling becomes less efficient and citrate production slows. Energy gradually feels more expensive. This is not inevitable collapse. This is declining regulation. But we can support and strengthen kidney efficiency with nutrient balance and hydration. Part 15. The kidney energy loop. The kidneys manage the water, uric acid, and ammonia waste created by mitochondria. If kidneys are overwhelmed, mitochondria have no choice but to slow production. This is not voluntary. It's a feedback loop. The mitochondria create energy but depend on clearing their waste. No clearance, no energy. In closing, energy is not just about creation. It is about disposal. Potassium stabilizes cells. Citrate buffers stress. The kidneys keep the system affordable. In the next episode, we step back and meet the conductors, the hormones that decide where every nutrient goes. Insulin, cortisol, aldosterone, and thyroid orchestrate everything we've learned. Until then, health is not force. It is regulation.